your next decision, your hidden thoughts, your unspoken words. I can now predict them before you even realize what you're thinking. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening right now in labs across the world. But can machines actually read minds? And more importantly, should they? Welcome to the terrifying frontier where artificial intelligence meets human consciousness. The breakthrough that changes everything. In July 2025, researchers published a groundbreaking study in Nature revealing an AI system called Centaur that can predict human behavior with shocking accuracy. Trained on data from over 60,000 people making more than 10 million decisions, this AI doesn't just guess what you'll do next. It understands the underlying patterns of how humans think, learn, and make choices. Here's what makes this terrifying. Centaur successfully predicted human behavior even in completely new scenarios it had never seen before. When researchers changed experiments from space treasure hunts to magic carpet adventures or introduced entirely new logical reasoning tests, the AI still predicted what people would do. The machine had learned to think like us. But predicting behavior is just the beginning. Scientists are now decoding actual thoughts directly from brain activity, turning the electrical signals in your head into words and images that computers can read. From brain waves to readable text. Meta's AI research team, collaborating with the Basque Center on Cognition, Brain, and Language, developed a system that decodes brain activity into text with 80% accuracy. Using magnetoencephalography and electroencephalography to measure the brain's magnetic and electrical activity, researchers recorded brain signals as people typed sentences. The AI learned to predict text based solely on brain activity. 80% accuracy. That means 4 out of 5 characters the AI predicts match what you're actually thinking while typing. Your thoughts are no longer private, they're data. Another breakthrough came in February 2025 when researchers developed an algorithm that lets an AI-powered brain decoder translate one person's thoughts into text with minimal training. Past versions required participants to spend many hours inside an MRI machine, and these decoders worked only for the individuals they were trained on. The new system can be transferred between people with minimal setup. When someone listened to a story about not enjoying their waitressing job at an ice cream parlor, the decoder predicted, "I was at a job I thought was boring. I had to take orders and I did not like them, so I worked on them every day." Not exact, but the ideas matched perfectly. The AI isn't reading exact words. It's reading meaning, intention, and emotion, visualizing what your brain sees. Text is just the start. AI can now reconstruct images directly from brain scans, essentially seeing what you're seeing by reading your mind. Researchers from the Chinese University of Hong Kong and the National University of Singapore developed Mindy-Vis, a mind-reading AI that recreates visuals a person is looking at. The research team collected brain scan datasets from 58 participants exposed to between 1,200 and 5,000 different images while receiving MRI scans. One researcher explained, "It can understand your brain activities just like ChatGPT understands natural languages of humans. And then it will translate your brain activities into a language that Stable Diffusion can understand. Your visual thoughts become AI-generated images that anyone can see." Based on a participant's brain activity, AI could predict with about 50% accuracy what she was watching by selecting one of 15 categories including bird, airplane, and exercise. As the technology improves, that percentage will only climb higher. The Centaur effect. AI that thinks like humans. Perhaps the most disturbing discovery isn't just that AI can predict our thoughts. It's that AI is starting to think like us without being programmed to do so. When researchers compared Centaur's internal states to brain scans of people performing the same tasks, they found stronger correlations than with the original, untrained model. Learning to predict human behavior apparently forced the AI to develop internal representations that mirror how our brains actually process information. The AI essentially reverse-engineered aspects of human cognition just by studying our choices. The team used Centaur to analyze human behavior patterns, leading to the discovery of a new decision-making strategy that outperformed existing psychological theories. The AI now understands human psychology better than human psychologists in some areas. We created a machine that knows us better than we know ourselves. The medical promise. Before we spiral into dystopia, there are genuine life-changing applications for this technology. Scientists are testing brain decoders on participants with aphasia, people who have trouble understanding and producing language, to build interfaces that help them communicate. For people who've lost the ability to speak due to stroke, ALS, or brain injury, mind-reading AI could restore communication. Between 2021 and 2023, paralyzed patients went from being able to use brain-computer interfaces to communicate at 15 words per minute to 78 words per minute. That's approaching normal conversation speed. The technology could also help patients control robotic artificial limbs or communicate using just their thoughts instead of speech. For millions living with disabilities, this isn't dystopian surveillance, it's freedom. But the same technology that restores speech to the paralyzed could be weaponized to extract thoughts from the unwilling. The privacy nightmare. If AI can decode your thoughts, who owns that information? Who has access? And what can they do with it? Brain-computer interfaces raise heightened risks associated with privacy of thought, resulting from recording, using, and sharing a variety of neural signals. Think about what companies already do with your data. They track your clicks, purchases, location, and conversations to predict and manipulate your behavior. Now imagine they can access your actual thoughts before you've even decided what to do. Advertisers could detect the exact moment you're most vulnerable to a sales pitch. Political campaigns could identify your subconscious biases and target them with surgical precision. Your employer could monitor whether you're genuinely focused or mentally checked out. Banks could deny you a loan because AI detected risk-seeking thought patterns in your brain data. Insurance companies could adjust your premiums based on neural markers for depression or anxiety, conditions you haven't even been diagnosed with yet. Current regulations weren't written with brain-reading AI in mind. Who's stopping companies from collecting this data? The manipulation threat. Reading thoughts is invasive enough, but brain-computer interfaces are bidirectional. They don't just read, they can write. They can send signals into your brain. Early brain-computer interface experiments dating back to the 1930s showed that targeted brain stimulation could elicit a desire to move. More fine-grained versions raised the possibility of precision implantation of specific intentions, changing not only what somebody does, but what they wish to do. The technology doesn't just control your actions, it could control your desires. You wouldn't be forced to do something against your will. You genuinely want to do it, never knowing the desire was artificially implanted. Since implantable brain-computer interfaces are real-time communication systems connecting the brain to external devices, they're susceptible to being hacked like any computer system. Hackers already steal credit cards and passwords. Imagine them stealing your thoughts or implanting false ones. Your brain could become just another hackable device, except instead of losing your bank account, you could lose your sense of self. The current reality check. Before panic sets in completely, let's be clear about what AI can and cannot do right now. Most experts believe that current brain-computer interface technology cannot decode inner thoughts, although they acknowledge the potential for future advancements. The technology is impressive but limited. Technologies like D-Wave, which converts brain activity into text, are task-specific. They focus on structured and language-based thoughts, not the broader range of mental activities like daydreaming, emotional responses, or abstract ideas. Brain-computer interfaces cannot at present or in the near future read a person's complete thoughts, serve as an accurate lie detector, or pump information directly into the brain. Yet, 5 years ago, predicting behavior with Centaur's accuracy seemed impossible. 2 years ago, decoding brain activity into text at 80% accuracy was science fiction. The technology is advancing exponentially. Are we ready? Society is not prepared for mind-reading AI. Our laws don't protect mental privacy. Our ethics haven't caught up with technology. And most people don't even know this is happening. Once brain-computer interfaces are mature enough for various mind-reading tasks and used in various scenarios, it is nearly impossible for individuals to keep their thoughts private, which will lead to great challenges for personal privacy and human agency. We're approaching a world where thoughts are no longer the final sanctuary of privacy, where your brain becomes another data source to be harvested, analyzed, and monetized, where AI doesn't just predict what you'll do, it knows what you're thinking before you do. The technology is already here. The applications are expanding. The ethical frameworks are years behind. And nobody's asking whether we should do this, only how fast we can make it work. So are we ready for AI that can predict our thoughts? Number: absolutely not. But it's coming anyway, and we better figure out the rules before someone else writes them for us. The question isn't whether machines can read our minds anymore. They already can. The question is what happens when everyone has access to that power, and whether we'll have any privacy left when they do.